Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Hockey Thursday Talks, hosted by Inline Hockey Island in partnership with Cock Wolfpack. We have Michael Crean, and I'm Ken Musad. We'll be our host. We'll be the hosts for our third guest in season 2. So please welcome Jose Alexandre Guilardi from the Brazilian national team as player and coach. Hola, Julian. Hola, Jose. We are glad to have you here. How are you doing?
Thanks, guys, for having me first. It was like a pleasure be able to talk to you guys. And I'm fine. And I hope like everybody in Ireland also fine and be safe at home and safe at this moment.
Cheers. Great to have you along this week.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked a little bit offline, but for everybody that's joining us here, can you tell us a little bit more about your hockey career? Did you start with ice hockey, inline hockey? So how did you get into the sport in the first place?
Man, I started to play hockey, I think that the same way that most of the guys at my age, and I only have like 22. No, I'm kidding, 37. I started to play after I don't know if everybody remember the Mighty Ducks movies from Disney. After that, we saw the game. We saw the movie, and one of those movies they have like inline hockey, just like a little inline hockey. I don't remember which one was, and we got. Okay, this is a nice sport, you know, we can skate around, we can play, and we have sticks and everything. So we started to play hockey here, and it was like around 98, 99. After that, we just keep playing and grow during the last 20 years, you know. I started in the national team in 2000. I played my first world championship. It was like in Czech Republic in 2000. It was like a double IHF once, and it was amazing. I only have like 16 years old. It was like nice to see the size and how the hockey world was. And I got passionate and just keep playing for all this time. Sometimes I play ice hockey, but I suck hard, you know, in ice hockey. But it's fun to play. And most of the times that I'm available, team hockey, I like more inline hockey. So that being said, I play for 18 world championships. You know, I play like since 2000 into 2018, almost straight. I just missed one year that I have like an injury in my foot, but the other ones I play like almost everything. We play double IHF, and more recent we play Fierce in the past years. I've been coaching and playing Europe since 2014. I play in Castellón, Spain. I play in Ruby, Barcelona. The last Orangis is.
All right. So you mentioned that you've done both World Championships, IHF, and World Skate. So how was the experience for you? What were the differences like? Because there are some differences in terms of the rules, right? So which one did you like? How was it? And which one did you like most?
Double IHF is amazing. It's like the big hockey event that I've been playing. You know, we have like a couple of NHL guys in the rink, big rinks. We felt that we were like professional players, like really professional. the way that Double I treat us, we look very good. You know, you felt good. And the level, because we have like so much good ice hockey players, also for us seems that are better. You know, my first World Skate World Championship. I played two years. I played junior Fierce World Championships in US, and one of those years, Brazil was like a second place. Was our first medal in the Fierce at the time. But we back to play World Skate after 2012, and was in Colombia. Was an awesome tournament, but we see a difference of level, because at the same time, when we have like a tournament in South America, for example, not of all the teams came from Europe, you know, so the level become more local, and it's not the same that we used to have like in IIHF. Compare about the level of hockey, Double I was better, and about like level of the organization, Double I like 2 times better than World Skate, you know. But World Skate it's trying to get improve year after year. After they start to do the roller games, a couple of things got different, because now we have more disciplines involved. We have more people around. I think that they did like a very good job about the roller games. And year after year, Fears are getting better, World Skate are getting better. But I don't believe that it's possible for them getting the same level like organization, even in the level of hockey that IIHF used to have.
All right. At some point, I would like to go back on one thing that you mentioned about you had a broken ankle at some point as an injury. How did you get back from that injury and play again at the highest level?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have like it was like a stupid injury, but was so bad. Was after a South American championship here in Brazil, like 2004. Brazil against Argentina was like a very nice game. Brazil started to losing like 3-0, and we get back and won the tournament. And right after the end of the tournament, I was just with my skates in my feet, just celebrating. Hey, okay, we are good. Oh, nice. And then I came to drink water, man. You know, when I get down to drink some water, I just, you know, felt my feet get light, and just I came with my back in the floor. But what I did not see is that my foot was stuck in some wood, you know. So when I get back, when I fell back, my feet was stuck. So he just like broke it complete, just came completely out from my leg, you know. When I put my feet, my leg up, I just felt my feet hitting my leg like that, completely loose. And the guys came running my direction. Hey, what happened? What happened? When I put again my leg up, everybody just run. Oh shit, man, what the hell? Everybody close. Oh. And then they take me straight for the hospital. And when the doctor take a look, he said, "What the fuck you did?" I said, "Man, I just fell. I fell back, drink water." He said, "How?" I said, Don't ask. Just do whatever you can do it." And I was straight to surgery. After the surgery, the doctor just came to me and said, "Buddy, you might not be able to get back to play, because you really broke ugly, and you have like the problems with all the muscles around the foot was completely destroyed." I said, "No, okay, I will see what I can do." And I started to get back in the practice, a lot of physiotherapy and a bunch of things. And he said, maybe I'll be able to put the skates in my feet after 8 months. After 2, I already skating, you know. And I almost played the World Championship in that year, but as I have to put some metals like carbon and titanium in my feet, I start to develop some allergy. So every time that the skate touch my skin, my feet swell, and I'm not able to skate. So I have to drop it, the World Championship from that year, and just focus in my recovery, and was fine. And I, like 2 months later, I already playing tournaments in Brazil. And when I make my back, when I back in the doctor, like after 8 months, and he said, okay, maybe now you can start to put the skates. I'm already playing championships around. I said, oh, okay, good, doctor. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I guess when you have the passion, you're gonna just drive to get back as quickly as possible. It consumes your life.
I was feeling so good. I probably was playing my best hockey at that moment, you know, and I was so sad to see. But you know, at the same time, I have time to just focus on my recovery and work up in some points or different things that I didn't see when we always practicing. You know, I start to work out more. I start to think a little more. You know, I think that was good for me because I developed my game. You know, I start to use more my head than my body. And in the end, I think that was like good. But all that I passed was not nice. You know, just up your leg and see your feet like, okay, gone. You know, it was not easy. And everything is possible when you have the desire and the passion. Everything is possible.
So let me know, there's something I really want to know. Because even though this experience must have been, quite painful in some ways, but you've learned a lot from this. And is that kind of experience helped you in your coaching with the juniors that might have had those kind of injuries and type of situation? What do you tell them?
Oh, we have a lot of players that doing, especially in the beginning of the high level, they have like some problems, like muscle, bones, whatever. They can get injury, and normally most of the guys just drop it. You know, okay, I'm injured, I have to spend some energy to recover, so I don't want to play anymore. I'm gonna look something else to do it. And I'm the opposite. You know, I have all reasons to just feel bad and cry and whatever. But instead of that, I start to do like 3 times a day, like of exercise with the physio, with the physical education and whatever, everything possible to be recover fast. And was nice when I show up like 15 days before the final list for the World Championship. The coach just sent me a message and said, "Hey, how you feeling?" I said, "I'm feeling good. I'm already skate." And he said, "You think that you can be able to be in the World Championship, even if you just do for you be our guy in power play?" I said, okay. I think that I can be there. And then I show up for the last practice. When I show up with my bag and my stick, everybody that was playing the South American tournament and was in the last day of the tryout just look at me coming with my bag and my stick, just said, "What the hell? How this? We saw him without his feet, and now he's gonna skate? Come on!" And most of the guys just think, "Okay, I lose my spot." You know, some of those guys, okay, now we are screwed. And I made the practice, like a little half practice. And after that, the coach came to talk to me and I said, "Okay, now I'm feeling good. I think I'm going to be able to play." And it was in that night that I felt my feet got swallow and big. And I said, okay, maybe it's not so good as I think. And the coach called me in the next morning and said, "Okay, I'm going to put you in the roster." I said, "No, wait for tomorrow. I'm going to do I'm going to pass for a guy to take a look at my feet and see how it goes. I answer in the morning." He said, "Okay." I was in the physio and he said, "Maybe you have an allergy." I said, "Oh, that's not good." And then the coach called me I said, coach, I maybe have an allergy and we don't know how it's going to go. He said, okay, but I want a unit team. And then I asked to him, who are you going to cut for me being the team? And he said, it's going to be Marcelo. I said, Marcelo. Ooh. Marcelo was a guy that was from my team, and he's been practiced like insane during that year. He's played so good. And I said, oh, no. That guy? He said, yeah, that guy. I said, okay, so I'm out. He said, how? I said, I'm out. Take Marcelo. He's playing better than me now. He spent a lot of energy to be in the team. And if I go, I'm going to be like 30%. So I'm out. The coach just said, sure. I said, sure. Just take Marcelo. You know? And then I dropped the team because I knew that Marcelo could be a better job than me at that point. You know? I think that was the first time that I think as coach.
That's impressive, because that shows, one, we see like dedication, perseverance, but also a really impressive team attitude, team spirit, and that's not something that you see elsewhere. Now, you mentioned about coaching and those tryouts in Brazil. Now, I think that our audience and us as well, we would like to know a bit more about inline hockey in Brazil. So are there any leagues? How is it set up? Are more players playing? So can you tell us about how it's going?
Yeah, for sure. Brazil is huge. For the people that don't know Brazil is like huge. So the way that the things go here is tournaments. We don't have like a league that works during the whole year, because it would be impossible and it would be a lot expensive. So here in Brazil, we work as tournaments, like in US, for example. So we put everybody in the same rink at the same weekend, or for 3 or 4 days, and we play like the national tournament in that weekend. Most of the time it's like that. In the last 4 or 5 years, we start to have like a kind of league type in the States. So, for example, São Paulo, we play like the state tournament. Instead that we play for just 1 week, we play for a couple of weeks, like one time in a month. So we choose like 1 weekend in a month, and we do first round, second round, third round in different places. Because as São Paulo also is like a huge state. It's the size of Spain, for example, or France. But it's possible to play this way. But as national, it's impossible. We have like a national league here. It would be like way expensive, and about the distances and everything is huge, So the national tournament in Brazil, he's been played in 1 week or extended weekend, like when you have some holiday or something like that.
Yeah. What are the facilities like in Brazil? Like, you talk about local leagues in the States. Like, are there many rinks in the States? Are they concrete? Are they sports floor?
That's a good question, because Brazil used to have, like, for example, between 2000 and 2010, Brazil was like won the B pool from II, a bunch of medals from the Division 1 from II, and we have like a bunch of good times. We play good the World Championships and being like in between top 10 and whatever, but we don't have sport courts. We didn't have it, The first sport court rink came to Brazil in 2018 and was in Minas Gerais. That is a state from in the side of São Paulo, and it was the first one. From that facilities, 3 more cities rink. Now we have in São Bernardo, that is a city very close to São Paulo. We have in Taubaté, that it's a city more close to the coast. And we have in my city, we have 2 rinks with sport court now. We have two different rinks with the same surface, the same size and everything. These are the places that now have sport court. So what the Federation did in the last years, the main events like state championships and national championships, they have to be played in rinks with sport cart, you know. So we don't play. We still having like rinks with concrete or different surface like wood, like parquet that we have a lot in Europe. But most of the main events, they have to be played in the sport cart facilities, you know. So we have the best level of the players. But it's something that only came and arrived for us in 18, like 2 years ago.
So judging by facilities improving, and it'd be fair to say that as a whole, inline hockey in Brazil is on the up. Because we see the problem in Ireland, lack of facilities means lack of development, but you're talking about improvement in facilities, we're seeing more people playing.
Yeah, we see, and we see the level. Now we have some players, and we are sending players to Europe now. In the last 2 years, we have more players from Brazil being called to play in minor leagues in France or Spain, or second divisions in France or Spain, and some of those players in elite leagues from Spain or France, because now we have the surface to practice. You know, we can get better shots, we can have better passes, better skate. So the hockey here are developed, you know, especially for the young ones. In a couple of years, I think like 2 or 3 years, we're gonna have like a very good generation for senior team Brazil, like a new one, completely new one, with a different way to play, you know. And we are working especially with these kids, you know, all the time in the sport cart facilities, made them play good tournaments around the world, like State Wars, NARC, whatever, other tournaments around, like in Argentina, that we have good tournaments, and then 2 different, completely different than the last ones.
Okay, and so at some point you mentioned the juniors, the juniors players. What would be the objectives in terms of development of hockey in Brazil? What are the next steps? Jose, did you hear the question?
Can you guys are listening to me? Because can you cut a little?
Oh, okay, all right. So let me rephrase. So at some point you mentioned
just the beginning.
All right, no problem. So at some point you mentioned that in 3 years you would have very strong senior teams based on the juniors that you have. So in terms of development of hockey in Brazil, what would be the next steps? What are your objectives? Were you able to hear me?
No, you're gone.
All right. So I'm gonna say
no, but I understand the question. Relax.
Okay, all right. So
if you guys are listening to me, it's fine. Yeah, okay. We've been developing our main goal in the last years was this junior program, you know, and we've been seeing that we're gonna have like a lot of successful about that, because like I said, the structure, when we have the right surface, the right rink, the good tournaments to play, the level go up. And we are putting a lot of effort in this junior program, like a couple of attitudes that we are having. So now we have like a doctor, a guy that works only with athletics players, working with our kids. We have like a nutrition. We have a couple physical educators working specifically with our team, you know. So it's not more only hockey. We put a whole structure around to be able those players grow. We want to make those players can get in the next level, and more open spaces for them in Europe, for example. You know, I've been personally working on that. just like, okay, you have a spot for a guy to play in this team in France. Okay, so I'm sending this guy. You have a spot for this guy in Europe? Yes. Okay, I'm sending that guy. Because I think that the fact that our young guys are playing outside bring them to them like some knowledge that make the whole group grow, you know. So our goal in this moment, it's our junior program, you know. And we get upset because this year will be like the first time that we supposed to be in the World Championship with the junior team in the last 5 or 6 years, introducing this generation. But with everything that is being happening, we're gonna get for the next year, you know. But I really believe that we might be able to have our best generation in the next 3 or 4 years.
And so you mentioned that, well, you're sending players in Europe in the different leagues. So, but you've said before that you've been in Spain and now you're in France in Ruisangis. So when did you come there first? In what context? And how was your experience? And how is the experience till now?
They try. In 2007, I think, was the first time that I was invited to play in Europe. I think that was like most point leader, score leaders from the Division 1, from Double I. And they start to, oh, you want to come to a season, and some opportunities just show up. And I was not able to go because I was studying, I was working. And in 2014, after the World Championship in Toulouse, I have a guy that is Spain. They came to talk to me. Hey, you don't wanna play a season with us? I said, okay. So what's the condition? And I said, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance, you know. And then I came, and we already have a guy from Brazil playing Castellón. There was Diego Araújo. That is like a awesome player, probably one of those best players that Brazil ever have. And he was in the team, and I started to play with them, and I felt awesome. I said, okay, it's great. It's a great opportunity, not just about hockey, but life, you know. It's a lifetime experience. And I got in love about all that situation, you know. So I always work try to give this same experience for young ones, you know, because at that point in 2014, I have 30 years. You know, I was old for start like a work in Europe. And okay, then I started to open the doors. So always that we have opportunities and we have like spots available in some teams. We send guys to play just a little, like 2 months, 3 months, do the exchange of knowledge and give them opportunity. If they are good, they stay. If they are not playing good, they just come back home. And still being our goal, do that. Recently, I talked with the guys from Ruby, both coaches, Marcos and Xavi, that a very good friend. And we're gonna try to develop like a prospect work for South America. In the next couple of weeks, we're gonna put this in the social medias. And how is this gonna work? The guy's gonna come to South America, do the camps, and see the best players possible until like 17, 18 years old, with level to start to play in Ruby and maybe develop as player in Europe, you know. And my idea is to do the same with one team in France. And we already talked with a couple of teams that interest in do that, you know. So came here in the South America, you guys do a camp, see the best players, and open a spot for these guys in your teams, like for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. Just give the chance to the guys, present and see, okay, if you're good, you stay. If you're not, just go home, get better, you know. Just easy. And this is our main goal in this moment, like create a chance to the players have the experience, you know, to live outside, play good level hockey, play for a league, you know, because they are not used to here to play. And this is something that we've been working a lot with all the friends that we have in France and Spain.
So this year, you're coaching in France of Les Phoenix and playing. Like, how was that experience combining playing and coaching again?
Was a good experience. The way that the French guys handle with hockey is completely different than Spain, for example. You know, they see from a different way, and the way that they play also is kind of different. I'm in February, March, I was talking with a couple of teams about get back to France for this season, and I was very interested in have another season in France. But with this scenario about the pandemic and maybe we are guys from Brazil are not allowed to get in Europe in the next months, so our talk just stopped for now. But I still interested and work 1 or 2 more seasons in Europe, more knowledge, more contacts for we develop things. This year, thanks for all this relationship, we were able to bring, like in February, we bring Seb back to give a camp here in Brazil. You know, that was something that we never think that would be possible. And he came here and see the guys and get impressed about the level, especially for the kids. And my idea is keep playing and coaching in Europe at least for 2 more years, you know. But at this moment, all the talks are stopped because of the scenario. We don't have sure about how it's going to be. So it's hard we do business when we don't have sure about the situation.
In your time playing in Europe to date, do you have any sort of standout memories of championships or great games or even great venues to play at?
Man, I have great memories about Valladolid, always. Even when I was playing with Castellón against Valladolid, and when I was in Ruby play against Valladolid. Valladolid is like a very nice rink, a very nice facility, and the level of the games, and we have a lot of people in the stands. So it's always amazing to play. It's great. It was probably the best games that I have, and the best games that I felt good to play was that ones, you know, or Castellón against Valladolid, or Ruby against Valladolid. Always great.
And may I ask another question? So, so you're coaching the National 1 team in Rissorangis over there, but for those who don't know, that's also a club hosting one of the best women's team in France. So I see on the website of the French Federation that you're not coaching that team, but do you get involved with that team as well?
When I arrived, when I closed the deal with they already have a coach for the. I took a couple of time to decide if I want to go to you know. So everything got a little short for make happen. So when I decided I'm gonna go to they already have a coach for the girls, and for me all good. So I stay with the under 15, under 13. And senior N1 and N3. And also a couple of times I helped the guy that was coaching the girls. Francois, I think was the name. But in between October or beginning of November, he dropped the team. And they came to me, hey, you wanna? I said, no, now, no, because it's in the middle of the season. Almost all the job it's working, and I don't wanna one more thing. And the schedule of the girls and the guys in France, normally it's in the same days. If you go there, you cannot go there. So I saw this calendar for some way that could make my job not work so good with the guys. So I prefer start the guys. And then Alexandre Clemente, it's a goalie from Garge. He stay as coach for the girls, giving the practice for the girls, and he has like a helper for the tournaments. But they have the women's team in his is awesome. The girls are very good level. They have like 2 or 3 girls very, very good. And they put a lot of effort and money for the girls. The priority of his or his, in fact, it's the girls. They are trying to make the men's program grow now. But all the efforts normally goes to the girls.
And talking about, development of women's hockey, how is it going in Brazil?
Not so good. Not so good. I think that it's our weakness, it's in the last years was our low point. It's not easy work with with girls because the way that things normally is not the same. But in the opposite side, we have a lot of girls playing hockey as kids, because until the under 16 here in Brazil, you are allowed to play boys and girls together. After that, you have to split. At the same point that we have a lot of girls playing, we are not able to put like a good program as we are doing with the guys, But we have good news. We made like a couple of adjustments last year at 19 that make good things happen. For example, we did like a tryout, and we're supposed to have a team in the World Championship this year, like it's junior women's and junior and senior women's. It was supposed to work this year. And we send one girl, Laura, to play in Ruby. And Laura was playing the Elite League in Ruby. We made the contact and opened the door in the club for her, so she was able to fly there and play the tournament. But it's not easy to work with the girls program, and it's something that we are trying to get better and make as team, like as country, the women's program grow. But it's not easy, and we're gonna keep trying and make everything grow for the girls, but it's not easy. And it's our low point at this moment.
Talking about getting young people into the sport, is that something you see is difficult, especially in Brazil? You're probably competing with the sports such as soccer to get kids interested in a not big sport in probably most of the world.
Yeah. I think that non-professional sports is hard everywhere, especially a sport that has no tradition as hockey doesn't have any here in Brazil. Our main challenger also normally is have like some support for clubs or cities, to unleash has like a coach with salary or some helps to travel or pay fees. And as play hockey, it's not cheap. I'm not gonna say that it's expensive because every sport has a price, but it's not cheap play hockey. So always create some hard times for us to make programs like in cities or clubs grow, in the last years, we have like a lot of good programs from partnerships between cities and teams that make the sport grow. But it's something that you are always, always can change, because maybe just change the mayor from a city and he doesn't want the program keeps. If it switch the secretary from sports, he can change the program. So we are never like, okay, stable, that's it, okay, we can go, everything's gonna be fine. But I don't think that is something that works, that happens only with hockey. That happens with all sports, non-professional, if we take a look like in Spain or France, that they have tradition for hockey, especially like the other hockey, the rink hockey. And they have a lot of rinks, they have a good federation, everything. But they have like a lot of hard times also, you know. Here in Brazil is not different. So we are always chasing and running to better conditions to play.
I think we lost your video here.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, no, I received a call. I don't know if I answer okay.
That's great.
It's interesting to hear.
I think we've been for quite some time now. I think our audience might have some questions, but before we do, I don't know if you know, but most of our guests here have a little hockey challenge. So we just have a little questions here. So the first one would be, who is your favorite ice hockey player and who is your favorite inline hockey player if you have one?
Man, ice hockey player. When I was young, I was insane for watch Mike Modano. Mike Modano for me was like a great guy, and more back on in the old days. Now I really like Patrick Kane. I love to see the way that he can handle the puck and do some things that we said, how? Okay, just, you know, I love the way that he plays. And inline hockey, I think that I was blessed to be able to play with and against a couple of guys. And I think that the best ones that I saw was like Thomas Woods, for example. He's like unreal. And I was able to play against and with him. So when you play against, you get very upset. But when you play together, you say, nice, it's good. You know, seems that the guy just see you everywhere and he makes you look good. That's it's more nice, you know? The people look to you, play with him, and oh, you are good. Okay, no, okay, just Thomas. I think that Thomas, probably.
He's definitely a good player, that's for sure.
I'm sure you can make your life easy playing with him.
All right, so the next one. What is your favorite ice hockey national team and what is your favorite inline hockey national team? And yes, you can be biased.
Man, I love to watch, like in ice hockey, I love to watch Sweden play. It's they are fast and they play more light, you know. Not at the same time, if they have to use like a hard game against like Sweden, against Finland, they're always like a tornado. But they put some speed, and Sweden players normally they have a lot of skills, and so it's a team that I like to watch in ice hockey. And a national team inline hockey, US is US. You know, they have like 16 good players. So if one guy is not in the best day, so you have like other 15. It's hard, you know. I think that US.
All right, and the last one would be, what is your favorite ice hockey rink? And next one, what is your favorite inline hockey rink?
The nicest rink that I ever play, during the times that we play, actually ice hockey. So let's go to, I love the Staples Center from the LA Kings. The way like
up a lot.
Yeah, I love it. And as the hockey inline hockey rink that I ever play is gonna be like an ice hockey rink, but was in the Ice Tigers team that is from German league. We play our world championships there from AA, and it was amazing. Probably was the best place that I ever play hockey, you know, inline hockey.
Yes, for those who don't know, the Ice Tigers are located in Nuremberg, so in Germany. Also CHL Nuremberg team. So also before we give the questions to the audience, just a little thing, because at the very start, you mentioned something, you know, about the Mighty Ducks, you know, movie. and you were wondering what was the name of the character that was shooting fast, right? And strong. So I have it right here.
Fulton.
Fulton, exactly. Yep. So for those who didn't, so for those who need to watch there, that's a classic. Everybody watch your Mighty Ducks movies.
The Bash Brothers. They hit everybody. It was amazing.
Actually, before we go to the audience, you mentioned about playing with and against Thomas Woods. I'm guessing that was at US tournaments like North or State Wars.
Sorry, again.
You mentioned about playing with and against the likes of Thomas Woods. I'm guessing that was at like the likes of US tournaments like North or State Wars.
Actually, I played against him one time in a first tournament. Was Brazil against Canada. Was a very hard game for Canada. Was like 18-5 or something like that. And it was a hard time to them. And then when I started to be sponsored by Tour because of Thomas. It was Thomas that bring me to Tour. Actually, it was Skyler. I used to play with Alcalai. I was Alcalai use because of the Brazilian store, 3-on-3 Sports. They started to sell a lot of Alcalai stuff like sticks and skates. So they started to sponsor me. I stayed like for 1 year and a half. And then Tour came with a new brand, and Thomas started to work for Tour hockey. And he came to me, hey, I want you as our ambassador, and you start to play with us in the tournaments here in US. I said, okay, good. Then I changed and never dropped it again. I stay with Tour, and I'm a loyalty guy with them. And then I was able to play a couple of tournaments with Thomas in the same team. And I see the level. And last year we play a tournament for fun in France. That I have I think that I have a very decent team. My team was like me, PJ Di Martino, PJ Cavalla, Thomas Utz, Josh, and Matt Oshas, and Marcus People in the net. The tournament's supposed to be hard, but I think that we only suffer one goal with the whole tournament, and the final game was like 13-1. So everybody just kind of get upset with us because the tournament's here hard, and we just show up to have fun. And so they want to have fun, but the moment that these kind of guys start to play, they play serious. They play to win, So it was amazing to play. When you get in the line like with Di Martino, Cavalla, and Woods, you look awesome. You look like, okay, this guy's good, and they are good. You just be there, It was but they are awesome players.
All right, now, so I'll give the floor to Michael here, who will just take in the questions and transfer them to you, Jose.
Okay.
Yeah. As usual, Francois in with a few questions. Knowing how hot it can get inside a hockey rink in the summer in Europe, and how hardly bearable it is for the players, I was wondering how training conditions in Brazil. Do you play outdoors or indoors? Are the facilities air conditioned?
No, there's no air conditions. Here in Brazil, during the summer, it's November, December, January, and February. It's insane to play hockey, especially in the gymnasiums, like closed facilities. Last year, we bring the guys from some of those guys from to play a tournament here in Brazil. But it was in May, and it's kind of winter already. And they felt pretty hot, They said, okay, it's kind of winter, and we have like 25 degrees Celsius. He said, yeah, okay. So it's kind of cold for us and a lot of hot for them. But during the last year, I was in Europe during the summer, and I felt that the weather is very hot also. It's very And it's more or less Brazil the whole year. It's the summer in Europe. It's Brazil the whole year, and we don't have air conditioning, nothing in the rinks. It's all indoors, but no air conditioning.
Yeah, the heat in Barcelona was something else at sometimes.
Yeah, but that's Brazil the whole year, basically.
When you think, for example, like in Italy, they don't train in August because it's too warm. We can't imagine what it's like in Brazil, for us at least here.
If you do that, we don't play never. If it was about the weather, we never play, because it's too hot. We're not gonna play hockey, more or less like that.
It's like if it rains, you can't play.
Yeah, we get used to it.
Francois again. How many Brazilian players have been playing in Europe this season?
This is the last one, or
as in before coronavirus hit?
After coronavirus.
Before coronavirus?
Or... Before. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we have Bruno Sano, that he was with us in the first half. He was with us in his, and then also he has some problems with the president, and he left the club. And then he was to Ruby. He stayed in Ruby until the season in Spain got dropped because of Corona. We have Laura also in Ruby, and until January we have like 2 kids in the junior team also from Ruby, and me in his. Diego, that used to play in Castellón, he's retired already. He doesn't play anymore. Only that. We have a lot of Brazil, just like as knowledge, we have a lot of Brazilian players that look very good in Instagram and Facebook, but for real, they are not. Just like a tip for the guys, Don't believe in Instagram, Facebook, these kind of things. Look in the rink to see if the player are good or not, We have a lot of guys that, why do that? When the puck dropped it, you don't see the guy, But we, for our junior team, for sure, as soon as the borders are open, we're going to have new kids around Europe to play.
Awesome. No other questions, but Brian here says the Garden in New York is the best rink ever.
I never was in the Garden. But I like what I like in the Staples Center. It's how high you get to watch the games. It's like I think that is awesome. Well, for me, it's good. And as I am, and it's obvious, I am a Mighty Ducks fan. I'm cheers for the Ducks. It's but the Honda Center, I don't like it. I prefer the Staple.
All right, I don't think we have any more questions, right, Michael?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, everyone. It was awesome to have you here, Jose. And also, you're welcome anytime here, or even in Ireland. If you go here in the country, just send us a message. I'm pretty sure every club here will be happy to have you here, even just for practice or something.
Let's try to schedule something. Let's keep in touch and see if we can do like some exchange between Brazil and Ireland, like something official. Maybe give the chance for you guys come here. We do a tournament, and you guys just pay the flights and come here to play a tournament. We pay the rest. We help you guys with the rest. For you guys felt the heat here, like how hot is Brazil for sure. And maybe we try to do some camps in Ireland, and you guys came here also when we have all the borders open. Let's keep in touch and try to create some activities between Brazil and Ireland. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. So thank you for everyone, the audience, from being here also. That are really loyal to us since the beginning. We're gonna see you next week. for fourth Hockey Thursday Talk in this second season. Now, please don't forget to like, share, and follow the Facebook page of IHI, of Inline Hockey Ireland, but also on their YouTube channel, because the talk is also going to be here. It's a huge support. It helps the channel, and we are happy to give the voice to all those countries or organizations that are trying to develop our sport all over the world. So thank you again, Jose.
Thank you, guys, and thank you. And it's awesome the job that you guys are doing. Open the doors for people talking, and for you guys. For we know how the things are going with you guys in the other countries. The opportunity about talk about hockey, it's amazing, and it's a great job because we keep the hockey alive in this moment that everybody's. It's kind of sad, and trying to create some ways to keep our sport alive in the memory of everybody, as we are not allowed to play, and for real, let's keep in touch and try to create some activity between the countries. That would be amazing for us, I think.
Definitely. So, ciao.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers for joining.
Cheers.